Okay, I'm back, and I have all these little colors of UV resin already mixed up. I mixed these with mica powders and some alcohol inks. I have cerulean blue. This is fuchsia. I think this is, oh, this is just sand. This is sand and UV resin for the little heart pendants that I made. They have a seashell and a little bit of sand at the bottom and some of the cerulean blue. UV resin at the top and some glitter. Alcohol ink. Rainbow glitter. Is this one right here? It's a rainbow. Alcohol ink. Marabou. And it's rainbow. Love this stuff. Then I have some white. This is for I was trying to make waves on the ocean, but I don't know if you guys can see that. It's like, you can kind of see the waves in there. Giving my colors a little stir. Some of them have I don't know, some sort of a film or something on the top. I'm just stirring them up to get all the mica powders mixed back into the resin. Oh, it looks like it might be okay. So the resin that I'm using is, it's JDiction High Gloss UV resin. It's the hard type. And I really like this one. It's super clear. It cures super hard, really clear, really fast. This is one that I did with some iridescent film in it. There we go. Can't really see it without anything behind it. I'll put my gloves behind it and then you can see. But it just dries really, really clear. Very pretty finish on that. And this has been domed. Might dome it again. Here's the very first one I did was this one. And it's just mica powder that I put down on my resin tape, which I'm going to show you that right now. Excuse me. I want to try this one again. So the powder that I used for that one is called Orchid. It's really pretty color. It's got pink and it has sort of like a bluish flash to it. It flashes like a blue color. Maybe you guys can see. So when I put it on here, it looks kind of bluish and pink at the same time. I think it's gorgeous. I'm going to try it again. So I have my bezels. Get all these guys out of the way. I went on Amazon and got some little kitty bezels. I just looked up cat bezels and this one popped up. This type cat bezel popped up. I thought it was really cute. I have these pewter colored ones, silver ones, another sort of goldish color like a brass color, really bright gold, and then like a dull kind of gold. I want to use the pewter ones today. Then I also have some heart bezels. I also got these on Amazon. They were like really cheap for 50 of them. They come in this cute little bag that I'm going to reuse for a mold. Keep it clean. Just a little silver heart bezel. There's a little cat one. Can't really see him. Here we go. Little cutie pie. Let's do 2 of those and let's do 2 hearts. Okay. So what I use is resin tape to attach these two. I'm gonna peel off a little bit of tape. I don't need much because I'm only going to have 4 of these little guys on there. You don't want to waste this because it's expensive. Not like that. Now if I could just find my scissors. Just gonna put your tape down with the sticky side up, and I always use something to hold it because it sticks to your fingers and you don't want to have any markings on it. So you take your little bezel, just lay it down on there, give it a little push, and these will hold the tape flat for you. But you don't want to put any marks on the tape where you're putting inside of your bezel because it'll leave marks on the back side of the piece. So, okay. Get these hearts on here to hold this other side down. So you just want to tap on the edge of your bezel to get it to stick down so that you're not touching the inside of the tape on the inside of the bezel. I'm going to put this one this way. So there we go. Make sure those are stuck down really well. Yeah, those are all stuck down. I'll put the links for everything that I'm using in this video in the description box down below. Make sure those are all stuck down. I'm just giving them a little tap, going around the edge of the bezel to make sure that they're stuck all the way down there. Okay, that looks good. Okay, I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm going to start out mixing a little bit. My seashell color, which is really pretty, it's like a white with gold flash to it. Well, it went hard. It cured in the container, so we can't use that. But I can mix up some new, or I have white, and I think I'm just going to use this white. Let's see if it's got any blobs in it. Just give it a little stir with a micro brush. Yeah, see there's a blob right there. Just gonna stir it up and then I can get that blob out and use what's left. I do have plant lights in my studio and I think that's what's curing these on the top a little bit. I had them covered up with a paper towel, but some of the light got in there. I'm just gonna get rid of that blob. Okay, blob free. All right, then we have cerulean blue. Make sure there's no blobs in here, and also give it a little stir just to make sure your alcohol ink is fully incorporated, still mixed in there. Well, there's no blobs in that one, so I don't know why there was a blob. Oh, there's a little blob. Let me get rid of that. Okay. I'm just using these micro brushes to stir them and get rid of blobs because they pick the blobs up easier for me. I'm not going to use them to put the resin in the bezels because they're a little bit too big. I'm going to use these toothpicks. So I'm just going to clean these off with my big wipe spray and a sharp towel because I want to be able to use these again. Give that a little clean. All clean. Okay, those are cleaned up. I'm gonna grab a toothpick for this white. I already have one for the purple. It's actually a violet color. And I was checking on my fuchsia to see if there's any blobs in it. I don't see any blobs, but I'm stirring up the mica powder to make sure it's fully stirred in. Okay. That looks good. Clean that up. I've got a toothpick for our cerulean blue. So I'll do a heart that's this style. And I'll do a cat that's that style. You can see that little guy. Yeah. This is iridescent film, but I didn't put it throughout the entire kitty. So part of him is clear. Actually, part of him is blue. And he's got little blue ears. All right. And I have a little bit of paper for that. Right here. This is the film that I use. This is the paper that I use. This is, it comes in a sheet, like a flat sheet. It comes in a flat sheet like this. Let me zoom you guys out so I can show you this stuff. It comes in a flat sheet like this. Just got it on Amazon. And I took it, oh no. And I took it and crinkled it up. And I used my heat gun and sprinkled it up some more, and then I tried to, I just wanted the texture in the paper instead of it just being plain and flat looking. I wanted a little bit of texture in it, but not a lot. Just enough to make it show up. So that, and then you're going to need, and then I use scissors. Cut the paper. Scissors still have some of it on it. I just cut it like this, like little strips. And then I cut off the ends of those strips. It doesn't take very much because these are little tiny pieces. Okay, that's probably more than enough for these guys. You're going to need tweezers for those because they do stick to your gloves. Okay, zooming, bringing you back down. Okay, so for the films, I'll do those ones first. For the heart, you're going to take a little bit of your resin, or for the iridescent film, I mean. That one's got a little schmutz in it, so we'll put a color over that. This one's clear. Just spread it out a little bit. Being careful not to scratch the tape at the bottom. Spread it to the edge of your bezel, and you don't want a whole lot for the first layer. You want it to be pretty shallow. This is just to hold the film in. This is just to hold the paper in there. If you get any on the sides, don't worry about it. You can come back with a micro brush or a Q-tip and clean that off. After you're done. Spreading it out. Okay, and we'll do one of the cats the same way. So we'll do this guy. Just takes a drop or two. Let's do 2 drops in here. just trying to get a really thin coat on the bottom. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay. Now you're just going to take your films. I'll take the little tiny pieces of the dichroic film. It's not even dichroic, it's just literally iridescent film. Just set it down in there. And kind of push the resin over it if you can, so that it has a good, it's in there. And I just puzzle piece it together until it almost fills in the, until it fills in the entire heart or kitty. And you can move these around once you get them in there before you set it. This is the fun part about UV resin, is that it doesn't set until you put a UV light on it. So it gives you a lot of play time, a lot of time to get your design just right. Oh, one more in the middle. That looks kind of empty to me. Okay, there's one, and let's do the kitty. And we have all these little tiny pieces right here. See those? All those little tiny pieces I'm going to try to use for this cat. Okay, here we go. It's okay if the resin doesn't stay flat on one level on your piece, because you're going to be moving it around anyway. If you find a piece of your film that just won't stay flat, it's better to take it out, because it won't flatten out whenever you cure it. It's just going to leave a little hump in your piece. So I'm using these films to spread the rest of my resin out. It's just like Tetris, kind of. You're just putting little pieces together. Here's a really small piece I'm going to use for one of his legs. Another little small piece. Try and give him little rainbow feet. It's a really tiny piece. Okay. I don't want to fill him all the way in. I like that the way it is. I'm just going to give him one leg that's totally full. Kind of like a cat's pattern on their bodies. They're patchy. They're not usually a solid color. Even the ones that are solid have a little white spot on their tummy or something. So. Okay, there's another piece. If you see any gaps, just keep adding your films in to fill that in. And then you can put any color that you want behind or in front of this film, and it changes the whole look of it. Like, I'll show you what I mean. So these look pretty good. Okay, let's do the other ones. Okay, so I started out doing multicolors. Let me see if my sand is any good. My sand has cured a little bit. Not completely though, so I'm going to try to use a little bit of it here. I'm going to go with the top this time. No, I'm not. I'm going to do it just the way I did the other one. So I just took a little bit of my sand laid it in there and spread it around. Just at the bottom. And then we'll do a seashell in the ocean on the next layer. So this is the first layer of this one. Okay, I'm gonna get a seashell to add on top. Got these really tiny seashells on Amazon also. They're very, very small. Just gonna pick one. It's pretty tiny because these hearts aren't very big. That one looks good. Okay. And then for the other cat, we'll do white. We'll make him a pink and white cat. So for this one, I just take a drop of my UV resin, drop it in the center, the white. And then I took a little bit of the violet. This is a mica powder violet, by the way. And dropped it on either side. And spread it. And if you want, you can do a little swirl in it. You can kind of make it look like, you know, a swirly kitty if you want to. I'm not going to on this one, but I did on the first two. And for the ears, I use this fuchsia. And it takes a very little, like a teeny tiny drop. Just drop it in there. Uh-oh, that's a film that I didn't get all the way in. Put one more on there. Okay, so other ear. And if there's any areas around your bezels that you want to clean up, now's the time to do it. Before you put it into the cooker, I don't know, the UV lamp, the oven. Okay, so I'm just gonna pop these into my, let me zoom you out. Do this, I have a UV lamp right here. So I'm just gonna pop them in there for 5 minutes and I'll see you in a second. Okay, those are all cured. All right, let's do the second layer. So for the second layer on the heart, I'm going to add the cerulean blue. To the heart. Get that big blob out of there. Oh my god, are you kidding me right now? Why? Why? Don't worry about stuff like that because you can clean that off. It'll just come off. I just don't want it to get on my cat ears. Okay, I'm not worried about that. It's not touching anything. Okay. Alright, cleaned it up. Now, let's put our ocean in. So I'm still using my toothpick because I don't want to put a lot in here. Just going to drag it up onto the sand a little bit. Cool. Then I'm going to take our little shell, little tiny seashell. Oops, oh my god. Almost dropped it right in there. And then I'm just going to place it right here in the center. Put it right where I want it. I'm going to take a teeny tiny bit of the watercolor, the cerulean blue, and drop it right into the shell if I can. There we go. And then for this cat, I'm going to use the same cerulean blue and go over the top of it. So I'm just going to dome it with this blue. It's got sort of a rough finish from the films, so I'm trying to fill in any rough spots with the dome. And I'm going to flash cure those real quick with my torch. I have a little UV lamp, a little UV flashlight. So I'm just flash curing that to make sure that it doesn't move. I'm going to flash cure this heart just a couple seconds. Now I can do his legs. Okay, another really quick flash cure with the torch. This just keeps the UV resin from moving before you get a chance to put it into your UV lamp and cure it for a full 5 minutes. Some of these I'll cure them for 10 minutes just to make sure that they're completely cured. Okay, I'm gonna put blue on top of this heart too, I think. Another blob. Keep finding blobs. My resin cured part of the way, so I'm gonna get rid of blobs. So I'm just gonna dome this one with cerulean blue. Just gives the film underneath it a different tone. Just going around the edges with my toothpick to make sure that this blue goes to the edge all the way around the bezel. And sometimes you'll have to dome these twice because of this film in here. A little spot I missed right there. So I'm just going to keep doing this. Really quick, while those are curing, I just wanted to show you how to do the mica powder. So I'm just going to take a small piece of film and just do this one little bezel so I can show you it. Put your bezel down on your tape. Try not to touch the inside. And you're going to take mica powder. So I'm going to use Orchid. This is Let's Resin Orchid mica powder. And I'm not even going, oh no, I just made a huge mess with it. Now it's all over me and all over my gloves. And I might just use this with all my gloves because I'm not cheap. Okay, so grab you a brush, any kind of brush. I'm going to use this right here. Maybe not. I don't know, I'm trying to because I'm that freaking cheap. Okay, after I make a huge mess, just keep some mica powder on your brush and brush it into, and since you're putting your bezel on tape, it's all going to stick to the tape. So this is going to be your back. This time I'm going to get the bubbles out. Just burnish it in there. Rub your brush kind of firmly, rubbing the mica powder all down in there to make sure it's in all the spots. I'm just going to clean this up real quick with my big wipes. Spray. Okay, and so after you do that, you're literally just going to put your UV resin right on top of that and let it fill in. I'm going to clean the bezel off a little bit. Got mica powder everywhere. I think I'm going to do the cerulean blue on top of this one. So I'm just going to pour a little bit of that in. I'm going to go ahead and let this cure as one piece. So I'm going to fill it up to the top. Okay, and we'll see what this one looks like. Take a torch to it. Get your bubbles off the edges there. There's one. Another one. Finally got him. There's a gnat that's been bothering me. Finally got his ass. Yeah. Okay, so then take a torch and just torch it. Get rid of your air bubbles. And I'm going to use my little flashlight that I have. Oh, bright. to flash cure this so I can move it and put it into my curing lamp. God dang it. I hate gnats. Okay, now our other ones are ready. So I'll get those out and I'll put this one in to cure. So here's these ones. I'll put this one in to cure. Cure these for 5 to 10 minutes or longer if you feel like it needs it. I just cure it until they're completely rock hard. Okay, so we still have a little bit to do on this one with the seashell in it. So I'm going to put a little more blue on top, a little more of the cerulean blue behind my seashell. Drag some of the blue up onto the sand around my seashell. Okay, on this layer I'm going to try to add some white, some waves, some sea foam. So we'll see what happens. Okay, I just have a tiny amount of white mixed up. I'm just going to take a teeny tiny amount of this white. Drip it onto there and drag it along. Try to make it look like waves. Sorry, I didn't realize I was pulling it towards myself. Okay, I'm just gonna flash cure that. Okay, I'm gonna throw in the cure, and this other one is ready. This one we can undo. We can take it off the tape because it's already ready to look at. While these other ones cure. So this one's ready. It's cured, so we just have to take it off of the tape. So to do that, I just literally just peel it off of the tape. Your mica powder comes off with the bezel on the back of it. If you want to dome the back of it, you can, but it's not going to come off. That's embedded in the resin. That's what that looks like with the blue on it. I think I like it with the blue. It's pretty. I like the sparkles in it. That's the rainbow glitter. Okay, the other ones are done curing. So for this beach one, I will just dome it again. And I may go over the back of it with white mica powder, like with these ones. This one has white mica powder on the back, just to kind of make the water shimmery and make it stand out a little bit more. So these ones I may do the same thing. Get these off of here. There's one. There's our heart. That came out really pretty. We like that. And I'll probably put, you can put any color you want behind these, and they look very nice, no matter what color you put behind it. Like, let's see, do I have anything purple? I don't have anything on hand, but you can see how much more the iridescence shows up with the color behind it. If you were to put blue behind it, that's what it would look like. Black behind it, blue behind it. Here's green. See what green looks like behind it. So whatever color you put behind it is going to make the colors in it show up even more. Okay, let's get these cats off of here. There's a kitty. Came out really cute. Okay, and here's the other one. These both came out really cute. I like his little purple face. I like that they're bicolored. It's kind of like a bluish, like blue and purple now, because we put the cerulean blue over the white. Here's the back side. Whoops, I don't know what the camera is. Purple and white. It's got some purple in his whiskers, but that's okay. That can be cleaned out really easily. There's the front side. So that's it. That's a really easy way to make little jewelry items. Little pendants using UV resin, mica powder, and some iridescent films. Thank you guys for joining me. If you liked what you saw today, then hit the subscribe button and notifications so that you know whenever I put out the next video. And I'll see you next time. You guys stay creative. Bye.